Let me tell you something that no one else will. The single greatest power you hold in your life is not talent, not luck, not even intelligence, it's courage. Because without courage, your talent stays hidden, your luck goes unnoticed, and your intelligence never gets used. Without courage, you stay stuck exactly where you are. Courage is not about being fearless. It's about moving forward even though you feel the fear. It's about standing up when everything inside you screams to stay down. It's about making a choice to show up, even when you don't feel ready. And here's the truth, nobody ever feels ready. Nobody ever wakes up one day suddenly fearless, suddenly prepared, suddenly bold. No, you build courage in the moments you decide to take one small action despite the fear that's trying to paralyze you. Think about your life right now. How many dreams have you buried under the excuse of, "I'm not ready yet"? How many times have you let fear convince you to wait, to hide, to play small? Be honest with yourself. Because the difference between the life you're living and the life you want to live is not ability. It's courage. Courage is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. And every single day, life hands you opportunities to cross that bridge. But most people don't. Most people look at the bridge, feel the fear, and walk away. They keep telling themselves, someday. But someday never comes. Courage isn't waiting for the perfect time. It's creating the time. It's choosing to move forward while your heart is racing and your palms are sweating. And listen, courage doesn't show up in giant, dramatic ways most of the time. Courage lives in the small choices. Courage is raising your hand in a meeting when your voice is shaking. Courage is picking up the phone to make the call you've been avoiding. Courage is walking into the gym when you feel like everyone is staring at you. Courage is saying, "I love you" first. Courage is saying, "I quit" when you know the job is killing your soul. Courage is whispering yes to an opportunity when every bone in your body is screaming no. You see, the biggest myth about courage is that it shows up fully formed. That one day, you'll feel brave enough to take that leap. That's not how it works. Courage is built like a muscle. Every time you choose to act, despite fear, you strengthen it. Every time you lean into discomfort, you grow it. And here's the best part, courage compounds. The more you use it, the more it expands. Think back to a time in your life when you did something that terrified you. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd, or moving to a new city, or starting a business, or telling someone the truth about how you feel. Remember how your body felt, the shaking, the racing heart, the doubt, but you did it anyway. And afterward, didn't you feel unstoppable? That's the magic of courage. On the other side of fear is freedom. On the other side of fear is growth. On the other side of fear is the life you've been dreaming of. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think courage means waiting for the fear to disappear. No, courage is acting while the fear is there. You don't get rid of fear, you learn to dance with it. You learn to stop letting fear sit in the driver's seat of your life. Because fear has one job, to keep you safe. And yes, sometimes that's useful, but most of the time, fear is lying to you. Fear tells you that speaking up will ruin everything. Fear tells you that failure will destroy you. Fear tells you that rejection will kill you. But you and I both know that's not true. Fear exaggerates. Fear is a liar. And if you keep listening to it, you'll spend your entire life sitting on the sidelines, watching other people live the life you want. So let me ask you, are you done letting fear win? Are you done letting fear keep you small? Because your courage is waiting. And here's the truth. The moment you choose courage, everything changes. Courage opens doors you never imagined. Courage builds confidence you didn't think you had. Courage creates momentum that transforms your entire life. But you have to take the first step. You have to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than fear wants you to believe. You don't need to take giant leaps. You just need one small act of courage today. One decision that scares you, but excites you. One move that tells your brain, I'm not letting fear win anymore. That's how courage is built, one choice at a time. And let me be very clear, courage doesn't mean you won't fail. You will, but failure with courage is not the end, it's the beginning. Because every failure teaches you something fear never could. Every failure makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And every time you get back up, you're proving to yourself that fear has no power over you. Here's the bottom line, fear will never leave you, but it doesn't have to control you. Courage doesn't wait for the fear to vanish. Courage walks with fear and acts anyway. And the more you act, the more you grow. So today, ask yourself, what would I do if I were just 10 seconds braver? What would I say? What decision would I make? What step would I take? Don't overthink it. Just do it. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Because your courage is sitting on the other side of that action. Let's get real for a sec. Right now, there is something in your life that you are avoiding because of fear. You know exactly what it is. It might be a conversation you need to have. It might be a decision you've been postponing. It might be a dream you've been too afraid to admit out loud. Fear has wrapped itself around that thing and convinced you it's safer to do nothing. But I want you to imagine something. Imagine 1 year from now, if you finally found the courage to take action. Where would you be? How would you feel? What kind of doors would open for you? Now imagine the opposite. Imagine yourself a year from now, still sitting in the exact same spot, still holding back, still waiting for the perfect time that never comes. Which version of your life excites you more? Which version do you actually want to live? Because that's the choice you're making every single day. Courage or fear, progress or stagnation, growth or regret. Courage is not some superhuman quality. It's not something only special people are born with. Courage is a decision, a practice, a habit. Every single person you admire, every leader, every innovator, every artist, every entrepreneur was scared at some point, but they chose courage over and over until courage became their default. That's the only difference between them and you. And here's the truth. Courage is contagious. When you dare to step out, others see you. Your kids watch you. Your friends notice you. Your colleagues are inspired by you. One act of courage doesn't just change your life. It gives other people permission to be brave in theirs. Do you understand how powerful that is? By choosing courage, you're not just transforming your own world, you're influencing everyone around you. Let me share something important. The brain loves comfort. It wants to keep you in familiar routines, in predictable patterns, in safe space. That's why courage feels uncomfortable. It's literally rewiring your brain. The discomfort is not a signal to stop. It's proof you're growing. So the next time fear shows up, don't see it as a wall, see it as a doorway. Fear is the sign you're moving towards something meaningful. Think about it. Nobody feels fear when they're doing something irrelevant. Fear only shows up when you're about to do something that matters. That speech you're afraid to give, it matters. That business you're afraid to start, it matters. That person you're afraid to tell the truth to, it matters. Fear doesn't show up when you're playing small. It shows up when you're about to rise. So instead of letting it stop you, use it as a compass. If it scares you, it's probably the very thing you need to do. Now I know what you're thinking, but what if I fail? What if I look stupid? What if I lose everything? Let me flip the question. What if you succeed? What if you surprise yourself? What if you discover strength you never knew you had? You see, the real tragedy is not failing. It's never trying. Because failure will sting for a while, but regret will haunt you for a lifetime. You get one shot at this life, one, and you don't get to control how long it lasts. But you do get to control how brave you'll be while you're here. So ask yourself, when it's all said and done, do you want to look back and see a safe, small life defined by fear? Or do you want to look back and see a life of courage, of risk, of bold choices, of growth, of impact? That's the legacy of courage. It echoes beyond you. And here's something you need to know. Courage is not about never doubting yourself. It's about doubting yourself and still moving forward. Courage is not about never failing. It's about failing, learning, and trying again. Courage is not about never being afraid. It's about being afraid and acting anyway. That's what makes courage so powerful. It's not the absence of fear. It's the mastery of fear. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, commit to one courageous act every single day. It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe it's speaking up in a room where you normally stay silent. Maybe it's setting a boundary with someone who drains your energy. Maybe it's finally writing the first page of that book you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's sending that email, making that call, taking that first, whatever it is, do it. And then tomorrow, do another. One courageous choice every day. Imagine where you'll be 30 days from now. Imagine where you'll be a year from now. Your life will not change through wishing or waiting. It will not change through hoping or planning alone. Your life will change the moment you choose courage. The moment you stop letting fear dictate your future. The moment you say, enough, I refuse to play small. I refuse to hide. I refuse to let fear make my choices for me. That's when everything shifts. You are stronger than you think, braver than you believe, and far more capable than fear wants you to know. But the only way you'll discover that truth is by acting. You can read about courage, talk about courage, think about courage, but until you practice it, you'll never experience its power. So here's what I want you to remember. Courage is not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. Every day, you'll be faced with moments where you can choose fear or courage. Choose courage, even when it's messy, even when it's hard, even when your voice shakes and your knees tremble. Choose courage because your future depends on it. And let me leave you with this. 10 years from now, the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of will be the courage you did or didn't have. Don't waste another year waiting. Don't waste another day playing small. The world doesn't need a perfect you. The world needs a courageous you. So take a deep breath, feel the fear, then take the step anyway. That is the power of courage, and it has been inside you all along.